Are you all seeing my screen?
Yes, we see.
Okay, and it's just the slideshow, it's not the control screen?
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Good. Okay,
gig and
good.
everything.
Okay, thank
Perfect.
you.
Okay, Jane, will you start reading the English, please? So everyone is muted. So if I called on you, please unmute.
Sorry.
Jane, are you there?
Cannot hear her.
She's muted again.
Okay. The song Oi Mama Bin ich verliebt, Oi Mama Am I in Love was written by Abe Elstein for the 1936 film Yiddish mit der Fiddle, which was filmed in Poland by Joseph Green. In the film, Molly Picon is disguised as a boy, Yiddle, traveling with her father and other klezmorim, wandering musicians. Although klezmer music was an important feature of Jewish folk culture for centuries, some Jews looked down on klezmorim because their itinerant lifestyle kept them apart from community life, kept their income barely at a subsistence level, and made religious observance difficult. While contact with non-Jewish musicians enriched their music, it also raised suspicions among respectable Jews. The plot of the film is convoluted and improbable. Yidel falls in love with another musician, Froim. She sings the song audibly to herself. Suffice it to say that there is a happy ending. Oi Mama bin ich verliebt is sung here by the Berry sisters.
Okay, thank you, Jen.
Sure.
Okay. Julia, can you start reading? Remember,
Oi
you-
Mama bin ich verliebt. Oi Mama bin ich verliebt. A klezmer Yingel, Mama getreie, liegt mir noch in sich. Ich wein und lach und weiß nicht, Mama, auf welche Welt ich bin.
Can you translate it, Julia?
Let somebody else do it right now.
Okay, Maurice, please.
Sure. Oh, Mom, am I in love? Oh, Mom, am I in love? A klezmer boy, dear mother, devoted mother, only a klezmer boy is on my mind. I weep and I laugh, and I don't know, Mom, where in the world I am.
Okay, thanks. So next one. Neely, can you read? If you cannot translate, Maurice will do it, but just, practice the reading. Neely?
כן,
Okay.
welche wollt ich bin?
No, here. Oi, mame.
Oh, okay. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Ich wollte die ganze Welt herumgenommen und zu gedrängt zu sich. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Wenn ich zerspielt sich auf.
Okay, that's it, because that's what's on the slide now.
Okay.
That's what we see on the slide. So can you translate it or Maurice?
Maurice is I will not take the job for him.
Okay, Maurice is afraid that you will be arbeitslos.
Sure. Oh, Mom, am I in love? I could embrace the whole world and press it to me and hug it. Oh, Mom, am I in love?
Okay. Next slide, Michael. Okay, Michael, can you read? Michael?
Thought I was unmuted. Okay, wenn spielt sich auf sein Fiddle a schön herzig Yiddish Liedl, Oi Mama, wird mir gut on a Schier. So when he plays a pretty heartfelt Yiddish song on his violin or on his fiddle, Oi Mama, it makes me feel good without end.
Good.
Go on, the second one. It was a short one. Go on.
Mit seinen schönen schwarzen Augen hat mir zugezeugen, Oi Mama, wohl und gut ist mir. Und wenn sagt, hey, du Mädel, bist doch so lieb und edel, with his pretty black eyes, he has gezeugen, zugezeugen.
He attracted me.
Okay, so he attracted me with his pretty black eyes. Oi Mama, I forget what his voil.
Good. How good it makes me feel.
Okay, so how good and great it makes me feel. And when he says, "Hey, hey, girl, girly, you're definitely
Lovable.
lovable and I don't know, adult, noble or something like that.
Special, no?
I don't know what I would say for adel in this context.
Refined.
Okay,
Refined.
refined. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Ja?
Let's go on. Zuli, I heard you sing along, so go on. Read it.
Und sie spielen kriegt durch den Herzen rein, will sich tanzen, will sich singen. Also Gewalt, Gewalt. Ich werde sie springen, ich werde sie springen, und ihm kann ich nicht mehr sehen. Und as they play, runs in my, it goes into my heart, or runs into my heart. And I want to dance and I want to sing. Gewalt, my God, I don't know how to translate. Gewalt.
Oi, Gewalt.
Oi gewalt is oi gewalt.
Gewalt. I want to I don't know, to springen.
Thing is confused. I get confused.
Oh, I get confused. And on him can ich mit him I cannot sign anymore. I
No,
cannot be with him anymore.
No, without him.
Oh, without him, on it can
On him.
nicht mehr sein. On him. Oh yeah, without him I cannot be anymore.
Okay, good. Thank you, Zuli. Elaine, yes?
Hi, I got to springen as I'm going to explode. I'm going to burst.
Right.
Right, but not literally. It means she's
No. But you know, like
right.
I'm
It means she's
bursting.
confused. She's dazzled. She's
Because
out of her wits, you know.
I thought just springen is something that explodes.
That's
Well,
what I
but
got. That's
she's
yeah,
not
that's
really
what I got.
exploding. It's
You know, like I'm bursting with
going
love. You know,
crazy,
I'm
right.
bursting. Yeah.
right.
All right. Yeah, I
Okay.
got the same idea. I couldn't think.
All the above.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, Anita, can you read? Remember, you're all muted, so unmute yourself, Anita.
Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Klezmer Ingo Jung.
Mhm.
Mame getreibe Leid mit noch in sich.
In Sinn, in Sinn.
In Sinn.
Sinn,
Oh,
yeah.
in Sinn. In Sinn. So
Okay.
it's Mame, I am in love. Mame, I am in love. Klezmer young,
Klezmer.
a klezmer young man.
Yeah.
Boy, young man, yeah.
Yeah, Mame, I found.
No, Getraye
Mame
is
Getraye,
dear
my
mom.
darling,
Mom.
my sweet mother.
Right.
Leid mir noch.
Liegt.
Liegt. It's liegen.
Stays with me in my mind.
Right.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go on. Michael, next one. Okay, can you continue, Anita?
Yes. Ich wein und lach und weiß nicht, Mame, auf welche Welt ich bin. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. So I don't know.
No, ich wein.
I laugh and cry.
Mhm.
Mame, in which world will ich sein? In which world
Amai.
Am I?
Yes.
Where am I? In one word. Where am I? In which world? Oh,
Mhm.
she's in lab.
Yeah.
Binich Parli.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anita. Maurice, you want to add anything?
So just ich wein und lach as I weep and I laugh and I don't know where in the world I am.
Where in the world are you? Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Marsha, yes?
I just wanted to ask Maurice, what was your definition of Getraye?
Technically, it means devoted, my devoted mother. It's my dear, dear mom. It's an affectionate term.
So it's not mommy dearest, yeah? Sorry, I couldn't
Sure,
resist.
mommy dearest, okay.
Yeah, couldn't resist. Steve?
I just want to know if "Hey Girlie" works as well now as it did in this song.
Oh, for
If I should
sure,
employ it.
for
Can you
sure.
imagine calling someone girly?
Hey Girlie.
Yeah. Okay, Michael,
You-
let's
you-
go on.
Wait, you can imagine Molly Pika dancing with her hands back and forth while she's singing this
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
because she was
Okay,
so
Steve,
impressive.
can you read?
There's a recording of Molly Picon singing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's easily available. So.
But by
Yeah,
the way, I think Maidela would have had some sort of endearment to it as well. I don't know.
Yeah, but nowadays you don't.
I understand. I understand. We're talking about different times, but
Exactly.
I guess, from one language to another, one could be an insult and the other could be something charming, but I don't know.
Would Getraye be trustworthy? That you believe Getraye, isn't it trustworthy or?
Getraye?
Well,
Maurice, can you say
trustworthy is
that?
it's kind of formal. This is,
Yeah.
she's talking to her mom, dear mom.
Beloved,
Yeah.
devoted.
I believe in you or something like that.
Right,
I believe in you or trustworthy.
sure.
Yeah,
Rochelle?
In the song, Machatain is the Getraye, I can't sing.
that's it. That
It's
you can
used as
believe.
sort of like a dear mommy,
Yes. that's right.
ironic
Yes.
use of the word Getraye.
Which word could be insulting in English? I wasn't sure what you meant. Did someone Getraye, the word Getraye?
No, and
No,
that's
Maidela.
Maidele.
Oh, well, a girl, a little girl, right?
Yeah, but it depends how you
How you
pronounce
say
it.
it, sure.
yeah, and like in Machatain is the Getraye has an edge to it.
Right.
So it depends on the context.
The complete lie.
Okay, so let's continue reading it. Steve,
In
please.
Yiddish, everything said can have an edge to it. There is nothing that can be said straight that cannot then be
In
repeated with an edge.
any language, Susan. I mean,
But
depending on the delivery.
specifically in Yiddish, because you're talking to your own people, but you may be talking to the others, and you don't want them to know what you're actually thinking.
Are you talking
Oh,
about
really?
a false?
See, it's in any language, there's language, but the language is always defined by the user's I can't think of the word, it just left my mind.
Inflection.
Inflection, thank you.
Well, nuance. I mean, there's
Nuance.
always nuance.
Well, nuance is a different thing.
In context. And context is everything.
Tone and context.
Okay, let's go on. Let's continue. Steve, please go on.
Ich wollte die ganze Welt herumgenommen und zugedreht zu sich.
Zugedrückt.
Zugedrückt zu sich. Oi Mama bin ich verliebt, oi Mama bin ich verliebt, oi Mama bin ich verliebt.
Very good.
Don't give up your day job.
Okay, so translate the,
Oh, Cookie.
can you translate the first two?
It's just I would embrace the whole world and hug it to me. Boy, am I in love, Mama. Boy, oh boy, am I in love, Mama. Boy, oh boy, am I in love.
Perfect. Go on. Let's continue. Okay, go on, Steve, because we did it before.
A klezmer yingel, Mama, getreie, liegt mir noch in sich.
No,
Liegt mir noch in Sinn. Ich wein und lach und
Galiciano, you?
That's
it
fine.
depends.
That's fine.
It's fine. I say wine, he says wine.
Oh, really? Okay, I never heard it. Okay.
Go on.
Ich wein und lach und weiß nicht, Mama, auf welche Welt ich bin. A musician boy, dearest mother. I guess I would think of it is in my mind.
Yes.
And I cry and I laugh when I don't know where in the world that I am.
Good.
Okay, good. Thank you. And that's it, Michael. Okay, I think we read it. It's the same. It's just the same. So let's hear it once again, and when we are finished, Cookie, you will sing the one that you added, okay?
Yeah.
Just the thing that you added. But let's listen to it once again. Okay, Michael, can you stop the sharing? Okay, thank you. Okay, I promised Cookie that she will sing, but only the stanza that you added, okay? Not everything from the beginning, okay, Cookie? But you're muted. Cookie, you're muted.
Never sounded better.
Cookie, please, you're unmute. You have to unmute. We cannot hear you. Cookie.
I sure wish they had a control where you could unmute people.
Unmute people, yeah. It seems not to work it out. Cookie. Okay.
She's never muted. So maybe it's frozen or maybe she lost. I don't think
No,
she
no,
ever-
it's not frozen. I can see her
Oh, you
move.
can see. You can see.
I can see her move. Yeah, I can see her. It's not.
maybe-
She's looking not looking at the screen because I think she's singing.
Maybe she's on the phone.
No, she's not on the phone. I can see what she's doing. She's doing something, but it's not working. Okay, guys. You know, Cookie, if you manage to unmute yourself, we will hear you later, okay? Okay, guys, let's start. Let's go back to the story, and if Cookie will manage, we will listen to her later on. Okay, so sorry, but we cannot. Okay. So we started reading about the Jews in Brazil and how they came to Brazil, that, you know, agents of the government put advertisement in English newspapers and talked with mainly in England, so for Jews to come and they promised them land and they promised them whatever, so just to come. So we are in what page are we?
I just did it.
You just did it? Yeah. Okay, so sing. Before we start, sing. But
a jiddische Tochter, was sitzt nicht bei jedem, geredet hat man mir schon, dich im Verschieden. A Schuster, a Bäcker, a Scheuchet, a Rebbe, a Schneider, a Weiber, a Filler, a Schreiber. Aber ich bin mit keinem nicht gewesen zufrieden, weil du ein Herz brennt auf Flamm. A Heise, as ist am Nibelche Flamm. Ich hab lieber Klezmer Yingl, mir war sein Fiedel. Kommt zu mir a jeder Nacht und spielt mir up a little mir war sein Fiedel, mir war sein Liedele, mir war sein Smitzikel, hab lieb mein Jitzikel. Oi Mama, not ist mir gefallen. Rifarein, die Klezmer Mama, und Heis, ach, ich bestell noch. And it just spooks up and field. Then it goes on to the rest of the song.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
A nice verse. I thought it was perfect for that song.
There's Shane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Before we start, what year was this written, or what was the time frame when this was occurring?
It says it was written for the 1936 film. So Elaine, yes, Elaine.
Yeah, I had a question. Can Cookie translate what she just sang?
Yes, I can.
Please?
Okay, can.
Yeah, you let me?
Please.
Okay.
Wenn spielt sich auf sein Fiddle, when he plays on his fiddle, wenn spielt sich auf sein Fiddle, a schön herzig Yiddish little, a very sweet, lovely Yiddish song.
No, that that's part of what we did.
Was that part of it? Oh, I'm sorry.
That was in our song. I want only the
Yeah, a Yiddish Mädel. You know what? Let him translate as I'm singing it because it's hard for me to go back.
You know what? Maybe
Let's do it at
maybe
the
you
end.
will write. Maybe you will write it down. Maybe you will write it down and send it to Beverly, and Beverly will send it to us. That will be, I think, a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, and you will do it on your time, whenever you have time, do it and send it to Beverly.
Great.
And Beverly will send to everyone, okay?
Thank you. I sent that.
Okay, so we are now in Brazil and we're talking about the agitation and the advertisement of the government, of the Brazilian government for people to come to Brazil and settle there. So, Morty, can you start reading the agitatia? The agitatia. Morty? I know that I saw it. Morty, you are muted. That's why we cannot hear you. Oh, most of you are unmuted. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no problem. Hier, die agitatie.
Ja, die Agitatie hat gehabt eine starke Wirkung. Noch in dem eigenen Zimmer ist von Liverpool Hafen aufgegangen das Schiff Hambria. Trugedig auf sich über 1000 jüdische Nafshes. The instigation had a strong effect. Already, in the going summer, from Liverpool port sailed the ship Umbria, taking over 1,000 Jewish souls. Die größere Teil ist bestanden von Schneider pressers. The majority was composed of Schneider, of
Tailors.
Yeah, and pressers. Them is Familien is gewesen klein, hat sich von weg von ausgebracht a pur Töchter oder a pur Sinn von a guten Freund. Whoever's family was small, he, before his going away, borrowed a couple of daughters or a couple of sons from a good friend.
So just a moment, Morty. That's because they promised them land according to the number of people. So if you brought a family
More people,
with more
you
people,
get more land.
you will get more land. Yeah.
Right. Gefahren auf fertige Glicken. They sailed of ready, of hope, I'd say of hopeful goodness. Dus 5. Juli ist die erste Partie umgekommen in Brasilien und in der Hafenstadt Santos. Und von dort hat man sie übergeführt in Sao Paulo. Where did I start? Yeah. The 5th of July, the first party arrived on the 5th of July in Brazil to the port of Santos. And from there, they were taken to Sao Paulo. Man hat sie verführt in dem größten Immigrantenhaus von der Regierung und die bittere Zeiten haben sich ungeheuert. They were taken to the very large immigrant housing belonging to the government, and the bitter times started then.
Okay, go on, continue, please.
In Immigrantenhaus haben sie schon getroffen, a Gruppe Poljaken, wo sind umgefallen geworden von die Erde.
Entlaufen geworden. Sind
Entlaufen geworden von die Erde, wohin man hat sie, die Jiden, gedarft schicken. Okay, let me translate. In the immigrant housing, they already found a group of Polish people who ran away from those places where they were supposed to be, where the Jews were supposed to be taken. Weil der Regierung hat ungewiesen auf der freier und wilder Gegend. Because the government had directed them to the free and wild areas. Dus hat und weiter bedarf sich allein aushelfen. This is what you have, and from here on, you have to help yourselves.
Okay. Thank you, Morty. I want to ask you something, but first I see that Mari raised her hand. Mari?
I would guess that when the word house there doesn't mean housing, it means like a government house like Ellis Island where you're being processed or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not
Government.
They'd be a lot happier if they had been moved into actual houses.
No, you're right. It's a like a place where the immigrants were housed until they were taken to wherever they should have been sent.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, Morty, how was it in Peru? The same?
No, in Peru, it was very different. First of all, the Jewish community, the Jewish immigrants to Peru were very, very few, relatively. Mind you, the highest number of souls in Peru was in the late 70s with immigrants from Argentina who were running away from the anti-Semitic leadership. At that time, there were 5,500 souls, Jewish souls in Peru.
Okay.
So in the previous years, maybe there were 3,000, 4,000. And there was another factor. In the middle 1800s, there was an immigration of German and French Jews that came to Peru for business. Eventually, they formed families, and the children of these people integrated into the high society of Peru. And so that was sort of these people knew that they had Jewish ancestry, and so that was sort of a hold on some of the anti-Semitic feeling in some of the areas of the society in Peru, mainly those very close to the Catholic Church.
Okay, thank you. It's just, since we are in South
I want to know what's the meaning of the word angeheuben.
To begin.
Started.
Start. To begin.
Started.
Oh, start.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Susan, can you continue? Mehr
wie Erd hat man nicht gegeben. More than just some land. They were only given some land. Dazu haben sie von die Poljaken sich bewusst, and therefore from the Poles, the Polish people there, they learned as in jene Erter, wohin me will sie schicken, in those places that they want to send them, herrscht der Geller Fever. There was a rage of yellow fever. Un Menschen fallen.
Can we see your cursor? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I was just doing something parallel, so that's why I didn't. So yeah, I will come back to, I just did something else. Yeah, okay.
There was raging yellow fever, and people were falling, wie die Fliegen falling like flies, dying like flies. Derweil is ungekommen a zweites Schiff. So meanwhile, a second ship came along mit Immigranten und Tage bald a dritte, and second ship with immigrants, and then a third one. Der Zahl von jüdischer Leid hat der Greif bis 4,000. The number of Jewish people went up to 4,000. Der Eulam hat sich nicht gewollt rühren von Immigrantenhaus. The people, they didn't want to leave the immigrant settlement or the place they were being housed. Krankheiten haben sich ungeheuben. People got sick. Kinder sind gestorben. Children died. Und als die Beamte sind reingekommen und gesehen, and the Beamte would be the officials.
Yes.
No, I think
officials. Yeah.
The
officials?
employees.
Officials, the officials, yeah.
And the officials came around and they saw wie jüdische Mamas sitzen auf der Erde und beweinen ihre Kinder, where Jewish mothers sit on the ground and are crying for their children, ihre Kleine, their small children, is auf sie a Pachad umgefallen, fear fell on them, und verpachat die Jiden alle von Immigranthaus herausgetrieben, and from that fear, the Jews, all of them, they drove out of the immigrant housing settlement. Der Sachfall is geworden sehr schnell, and so what happened? The
result
happened very quickly. A tale was is gewein vermöglich is unentlaufen zurück in Europa. Those who were able ran back to Europe, oder gezogen weiter, or they went farther, in Argentina, they went to Argentina. A tale hat sich weggelassen, kein Santos. And so some of them went to the Brazilian city of Santos. Arbeiten in Hofen und to work in the ports und ist von Gellenfieber ausgestorben, and they died of yellow fever. Und ein Teil hat sich suchendig umgeschlagen auf a Vinkl Eden. And one group, while they were looking, they found some Jews, reiche, eingefunden wird, rich and well-to-do. What is eingefunden wird exactly?
I don't know. Someone knows what is eingefunden wird?
Previously settled.
It's like
Well
Previously
settled.
settled.
Well settled.
Oh, resettled. Was haben sich dort mit Frauenhandel, and they were doing women's jobs.
No.
Oh, excuse me, with prostitution.
Exactly. Remember that we were talking about prostitution in Argentina, I think it was.
In Argentina was a major means of settlement. I didn't know that in Brazil had it too.
The three Migdal group.
Yeah. And we will read a story, when we finish this, we will read a story about Brazil where this will come up again.
Okay. So in the using women bei sei Freundschaft getroffen. So they found something in common with them. Und bisslachweis in einem Schandschein mit Kind und Keit versunken geworden. And I have to go because somebody's at my door.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. Rafael, can you please go on from here?
Sure, I'll go back just a little bit
Yeah.
to the.
Someone translate? Can someone translate, please?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and translate.
Yes.
So I'm going to go back to the beginning of that sentence, which is un ein tail.
Yes.
An ein tail, and one portion of the Jewish group hat sich suchendig angeschlagen auf ein Bintel Jiden. Looking around, they happened upon a group of Jews, reiche Eingefundewetter, rich and well settled, was haben sich dort mit Freuenhandel beschäftigt, who were engaged there with the prostitution trade. Bei sie Freundschaft getroffen, they set up a friendship with them. Und bisslichweise, and little by little, in einem Schand schon mit Kind und Kate versunken geworden. And little by little, into the Shant, good translation of Shant, it's
shameful.
Shame, yeah, into the shame already with Kind and Kate all together, they sank down. Einige seien weg, arbeiten bei fremde Kava-Plantaties, and some went away to work in the coffee plantations by Fremde, owned by people they didn't know. Und dort seien sie verschwunden geworden, and there they disappeared. Blois tage nur etliche Zendlik haben sich, wie es ist, aufgeschlagen auf a Weg. Only a few tens, a few dozens, let's say, managed to work themselves they worked themselves up auf a Weg to a manner. Und bei heutige Zeiten vernehmen sie an anständigen Platz. And by current times, they occupy a anständig.
Unimportant?
No, it's
respectable.
well, respectable. That's it.
Respectable.
A respectable place in the society. So only a few managed to work themselves into a respectable situation in society.
I have a question about
Before you continue, I wanted to see if people have questions.
Yeah. The origin or I understand the meaning in the context of Kind and Kate, like all things, but how does that expression come together?
Well,
Kate
literally it's child and cattle.
Kate?
And Kate is cattle. An unusual word. It's actually part of a fixed expression, and therefore it hasn't changed. Kind and Kate, child and cattle.
Because I thought Kate meant chain.
That's a different meaning of the same word.
Okay. All right. Because I would not have ever figured it out in the context. Thank you.
Can you repeat what that is again, Kind and Kate?
Yeah, literally child and cattle. The word ki or ku is cow. Ki is cows, and Kate related to that is cattle. But Kind and Kate means everyone. So with her whole family.
Okay. Any comments? Anything about what we read right now?
Is that still in common usage? Because it's a great expression.
Yes.
Yes.
Kith and kin.
Yeah.
Kith and kin is very, and we don't use the word kith anymore except in that fixed expression.
Okay, so go on, Rafael.
Night, aber hat sich der jiddische Yishuv in Brasilien erst in die letzte etliche Jahre. However, the Jewish residents, Yishuv, Bevölkerung, inhabitation in Brazil renewed itself only in the last few years. Kamat for the letzte 5-6 Jahre, and almost actually the last 5 or 6 years. Bei itztige Zeiten rechnet man, as in Rio Janeiro, sollen sein a paar tausend Jiddish in the Fasches. In current times, it is reckoned, it is estimated that in Rio, there should be maybe a few thousand Jewish souls. Und merkwürdig Knapp 90% von sie, and it's worth noticing that almost 90% of them seien von der Städtel Sukeron, Bessarabia, come from the little town Sukeron in Bessarabia, von Harum Sukeron, and from the regions around Sukeron. Dann kommt Sao Paulo, and then comes Sao Paulo, wo es gefunden sich bei 500 Yiddish nefashos, where there are approximately 500 Jewish souls. And so I feel in Bahia and Pernambuco, and approximately the same number in Bahia and Pernambuco.
The names are Bahia and Pernambuco.
Bahia and what's the other one?
Pernambuco.
Pernambuco. Thank you. Yeah. One day I'll visit Brazil.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Außerdem befinden sich zerworfen über ein Land, and besides that, there are spread around around the country, da and dort, here and there, kleinere Gruppen Juden, smaller groups of Jews. Ich habe aber nicht gehabt die Möglichkeit, alle Orte zu besuchen, but I didn't have the opportunity to visit all of the places.
So I just wanted, I wanted to mention that there's a woman from Sao Paulo who runs a Yiddish festival. I think she still keeps it up once a year. And she comes to New York for the Yiddish festival, the Yiddish Vach, and she sings. So I don't know if anyone's ever encountered her, but she's keeping it alive. I don't know what'll happen thereafter, but.
What's her name? What's her name?
I don't know. I mean, I can actually, visualize her, but I bet if you Googled, Yiddish festival in Sao Paulo, you might find her name. Yeah. Okay. Or if you ever go there, I'll help you find it out. Before.
Could I ask a point of vocabulary? What does a pachad mean?
Pachad is a Hebrew word meaning fear.
Fear.
Can you point to that one?
It was quite a way back.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
Okay.
It's the woman who runs the festival is called Klestjevel, and her name is Nicole Berger.
Yeah.
Borger. She also goes to the Yiddish land thing that the Arbiter Ring does every year.
I don't think she goes to Yiddish.
I've never seen her there, but she might.
When I was there.
Yeah,
maybe she hasn't been since.
Recently, I say within the past month, I watched a webinar. It was a man who did it, Brazilian from Sao Paulo. There are about 120,000 Jews now, half of them in Sao Paulo, maybe 25,000 or so in Rio, and he was showing all the different cities which had some Jewish representation in the kinds of activities and synagogues that were there. It's pretty interesting. Sao Paulo has a number of synagogues, so it's reasonably active, and it doesn't look like it's going to go away very soon. I mean, there's still a strong Jewish population there.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Okay, Rochelle, can you continue?
Where are we? Point to it.
Kommt man.
Oh, kommt man aber in Bräuchel?
No.
Berührung mit die Jeden. Muss man sagen, als is Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Say it again slowly.
Brazilian.
It is showing gelenkt geworden a Fundament für a jiddische
Yishuv.
What's Yishuv?
Community.
Community. Und
Settlement.
Settlement. Und man darf sich als in der weiter Zukunft wird dort der jiddische Yeshiv wären größer wie in Argentinien. Okay.
Now translate it, please.
I'm going to try.
Kommt man in Berührung mit ihnen?
So if you're talking about the Jews,
No. When you come in connection, in contact
okay,
with
when
the
you're
Jews.
coming in contact with the Jews, that they're going to form a community. I'm having trouble with this.
You must
We
say,
have to say that Brazil is already
a fundament, a foundation.
Oh, there was already laid a foundation in Brazil of a Jewish community, and
it's Yishuvi settlement.
Settlement, a Jewish settlement. Und wir haben sich in
No, mir dacht sich.
And it occurs to me that the future that in the future the Jewish settlement will grow or get bigger.
It will be bigger than in Argentina.
Than in Argentina.
Which never was.
No. Is der Fall wo das Land allein hat mir
dacht
mir hat mehr Zukunft wie Argentina. It occurs to me that it has more future than Argentina. The mehrere the most Jews was sehen aher und haben on zu betrachten Brazil for their home. That more Jews are thinking about Brazil as their home.
The mere is here. Most of the Jews
that are coming here that are coming here are thinking of Brazil as their home.
Go on,
konzentrieren sich in they're concentrating in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, so what he says that most Jews are settling in Rio.
Okay. Gott, das Leben ist der größte Hauptstadt in nicht also gring, okay. Gring, die angekommene losen sich oft weg zu anders Blick suchen. Life is not so easy in this capital city, and many of them go somewhere else to seek their fortune or luck.
Okay.
Aber doch kehrt man sich zurück und der Zoll. I don't know what that is.
The number.
Oh, the Zoll. Der Zoll ihren der Zoll jeden vergrößert sich weiter als mehr. And even though this is happening, the number of Jews is growing even more.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Sandra, can you continue? Mein Einladung
zu kommen kein Rio de Janeiro, hab ich bekommen noch seien dick sein dich in Argentina. Mich gerufen mich gerufen hat der Verein Achiezer. My invitation to come to Rio Janeiro, I received after a while after
While in Argentina.
while I was in Argentina.
Yes.
They called me, or they invited me. The Achiezer, the group Achiezer, invited me.
Exactly. Yeah, go on.
Und von Sao Paulo habe ich mir ahin gelassen mit mein Durcharbeiter wilden Bagrigen und Weilgehen.
Okay. Bergigen und Waldigen.
Und Waldigen. And from Sao Paulo, I was taken.
No, I went with the train.
Oh, I went with the train.
I went there with the train.
I went where?
I went with the train.
Through Velden Verregenen.
Wilden, Bergigen und Waldigen Gegend. through a wild, hilly, and foresty. You say foresty?
Yeah.
Forested area.
Forested areas.
Forested area.
Areas. Nacht hab die Reise gedauert. It lasted a whole night.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Any question, any comments before we move on?
Yeah.
Can I ask about the last word? Gedauert?
Duration.
The duration.
Wait, one person speak.
The duration of the trip, gedauert, it took place. It took the time to make the trip was one night.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
What time frame are we talking about? What are the years that we're talking about?
We are talking at the beginning of the 20th century. Like the first 10, 20.
Between 1900 and 1920.
Yes, yes. Luisa, yes?
Yeah, I have a question about the previous paragraph that we read, where it starts with Hoch das Leben. Can somebody sort of, I wasn't clear about the gist of that sentence. Hoch das Leben in der Größe. Can somebody go over it?
Yeah.
Marty, can you, just
Yeah.
a moment.
Sure.
Marty, can you read
Yeah.
it and translate it
Yes.
again, please?
Hoch das Leben in der größer Hauptstadt ist nicht so gering, while life in the large main city or capital city is not so easy. Die Ungekommene losen sich oft weg wie andere Glicken sich. The newcomers go away often to other places looking to make a living. Aber doch kehrt man sich zurück und der Zahl Jiden vergrößert sich weiter als mehr. However, after a while, they come back, they return, and the number of Jews increases more and more.
Thank you very much.
By the
Thank you.
way, this is a typical situation with immigrants. Also in Peru, when they came to Peru, when many European immigrants came to Peru, they first settled in Lima. Life was not easy, so many of them went away to small towns where they started to make a living, and when they had a little bit of money, they came back to the city to be with other Jews and to start again.
Okay.
Well, that happened in Texas, where they went to small towns. Levi Strauss and all these people that became so wealthy, they went to the little shtetl to sell goods. The same thing in America.
Yeah, everywhere, everywhere.
Probably everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we have
yes.
to remember that Jews are generally not a rural population. Jews are inclined to be city dwellers.
Yes.
But necessity takes them sometimes to smaller places, rural places, but they then can come back.
Okay, thanks. The foil, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out the grammar of that sentence. It begins with choch, although, and the although part ends at that long hyphen. So although it was hard and people left, and then we have aber doch, but still people came back. So it's a very long sentence. You have to understand the although to be finally finished with the aber doch, but still.
It's a very Germanic construction of a
Oh,
sentence.
yeah, and Germanic spelling.
Okay. Zuli, can you go on? Is there? I don't see.
Lisa.
I don't know.
She's there, but she's muted. You want me to, can I ask to unmute?
Yeah, I am asking her to unmute. Zuli, can you read the It's von Vagon?
No.
Okay.
Wait, I got lost with this.
Okay, here. Top of the
die iets van morgen und der Stub ist gewesen so groß. Als ob die Nacht mit kein Oid nicht vermacht. The hot weather was so bad in the house.
No. The heat in the wagon, in the train, is describing
in the train
trip.
was
Is describing his train trip.
Yeah, the heat in the train is under, and in the house is given
No,
It's not stub, it's stoib, dust.
Stoib. And the dust.
All right, is given as a gross as I couldn't close my eyes in the whole night. Canria Schender bin Shigera. What is it?
No, Can Rio Janeiro.
Oh, Can Rio de Janeiro bin in früh morgen umgekommen und abgekocht. Abgekochter. What is it? Yeah, now I got it. I went to Rio de Janeiro when in free morning, in the early morning.
I came to Rio in the early morning and
as I got there, I felt I was cooked.
Like a cooked one, yes.
Yeah. Gesendet auf mich schön so aufgewahrt und sehr Freund schaut, was sie mir gewiesen. Is not Warmer gewesen wie der Rio de Janeiro Frühmorgen. Gesammelt. A group of Jews, they were waiting for me in their Freundschaft. I don't know what
Friendliness.
Oh, friendliness. Was say that they had and they
showed me. Yes.
A warm, it's very warm given just as Rio de Janeiro in early morning.
Okay, so let me do it again. So the heat from the wagon and the dust was so big that he couldn't close his eyes all night. He arrived at Rio de Janeiro in early morning and he was cooked. And a group of Jews waited for him, and the friendliness that they showed him was even warmer than the early morning of Rio. Okay, thank you, Zuli. Hilda, can you continue?
Yeah, but I can't see where I'm starting.
Here, Chob.
Oh, yeah. Chob. Be'emes nicht Gewalt, azoi viel heimische Ponemer zu treffen. I didn't expect to see so many homely faces. Und bleiben dick a Weile allein in Hotel noch edel ich hab dem Stäub von sich herabgewaschen. Where do I go back to? And remaining a little while alone in the hotel after I
before.
No. Oh, yeah, even before.
Oh, even before I had washed the dust from myself.
Yes.
Habe ich
verzeichnet?
Oh, I noticed, is it?
I wrote down.
I wrote it down.
Oh, I wrote down in my Notizierbuch, in my notebook, wie wollte ich wollen
sehen,
wollte ich wollen sehen, das Geschmalt von Gestalt. How I would love to see the face, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Von Zeo of their how I would love to see the faces of the grandchildren, was wollen geboren werden in dem ewig grünem land. How I would love to see the faces of the children who would be born in this forever green country.
Yes. Want to continue another paragraph?
If you can stand it.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, go ahead. Exactly.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Warum umwandern dich? I'll say it again. Warum umwandern dich zwischen die Wildernischen? Warum is it why?
Because.
Because wandering around between the wilderness and the wildernesses was the nature ganze Civilisatie.
Yeah.
Hot ponem via Farjavet. Is it Farjavet?
Yes, Farjavet. Oh, that's
Rusted.
Yeah, I heard that word, but I don't know what it means.
Rusty.
Rusty, Farjavet. Oh my God. Farjavet, Blechen, Kneppel. Wow. Auf green Seiden plate.
Wow. What a description.
Wow, what a brilliant sentence. Shall I try and translate up to there?
Yes, please.
Warum wandering between the wilderness
where the old civilization,
the whole civilization has a face looks like a Faljavet, Faljavet is old,
rusted metal,
metal, a button on a green Seiden plate, green
silk. On a silk,
green silk dress.
Yeah. Okay, so he's comparing the country to the green silk dress, while the people that live there looks like, a Farjaver Kneppel.
Da is in inem, dort inem Herzen.
Sorry.
Go on, yeah.
How is it Herzen?
Herzen, yes.
Herzen von Brazilian hoppen. Hoppen. Happen der plötzlich arum heimische junge Leid mit heimische Red mit dem heimischen Schmeichel.
So in the Herzen von Brasilien.
Sorry.
So can you translate it, please?
Doing here in the heart of Brazil, happen dich plötzlich, suddenly, you are taken, embraced, yes, embraced, with the homely young people. With
heimische is more than homely.
It's not homely.
Familiar.
Familiar. Okay. Familiar, I've lost my place.
Junge Leute,
Young people with familiar speech and with the familiar smile.
Okay.
Shall I just do this sentence? Kommt mir wollen euch führen uns umsehen unser what is that? Bibliothek. Oh, so come. We will take you to our
library.
Our library. I'll take you to see our library.
Exactly. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you.
That's
You were a real trooper to go through it. Thanks. Okay, yes, Marsha.
Warum
Umwanderendig.
Say that again, please.
Warum umwanderendig?
Umwanderendig.
So while wandering around, wandering around, while wandering around.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's a good place. I think that's a good place to stop and to be continued next time. I think next time, before you leave, guys, next time we will finish it, and in 2 weeks it's Hanukkah. So afterwards we will make a pause. We will stop for a while with Brazil. We will do Hanukkah and then we will come back to Brazil because I have a story that a Brazilian Jewish woman wrote about the settlers in Brazil. So that's the plan for the next two or 3 weeks. So if you want any comments on what we read, Morty, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back for a moment to the umwandering. It's just to make clear, the word, the translation doesn't have to do with wonder, but with wandering, walking, going around. Not surprised, but walking around.
Yeah, because it's also a Germanic construction because is around.
Yes.
So that's what it is, the walking around. Yeah. Okay. Someone else wants to comment, to say anything about what we read?
Can I just say?
Yes, of course.
Okay, the name of the Pharaoh again, the way it's spelled and the way I heard it didn't agree. So if you wouldn't mind remarking again.
Achiezer.
Achiezer?
Achiezer.
Thank you.
Achiezer means I'm helping my brother. It's Hebrew for helping my brothers. It's, it's a...
That's very nice. Thank you.
In St.
How
Louis,
do you call it? Sorry, Sandra.
In St. Louis, where I grew up, my grandmother was the president of the Achiezer, the society.
Yeah, it's a very common name for self-help groups, or how do you call it? It's not self, or it's
aid societies.
Aid societies.
Yeah. And she came to St. Louis in 1921.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very common name for those groups. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Luisa, Morty, some of the people from Brazil came to Argentina or to Peru, or it just was a back and forth between those countries?
No, Peru was not a preferred destination. Most of the people wanted to go to really large cities with large Jewish populations. and those were mainly in Argentina and in Brazil. Also a few to Venezuela.
So how come people got there? You know, I couldn't find, you know, stories from there. I really looked around because before preparing this, I looked for, you know, stories from Peru and
well,
couldn't find.
Most of the people, of the Jewish people that came to Peru came from Bessarabia. And it was by very small groups. One family or one man came, and then his friends, he wrote to his friends, and the friends came, and that's how it grew. But it wasn't an attraction for. There was, for example, no Baron Hirsch immigration or Rothschild promotion for Peru.
That's what we call a founder's effect. You know, that's what we call in biology. It's called the founder's effect, which one person comes and then he brings people, he brings his friends,
cousins and his friends. For example, my parents' closest friends were friends from their cheder.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just interesting because it's an area that we don't know a lot about it, you know, unless you are specifying or doing research. We don't really know about this area. So it's interesting to, you know, to listen from people that we don't have here someone from Brazil. Well, we have in the group, but they don't really show. So like
as a matter of fact, I gave a couple of lectures to a couple of synagogues in Toronto about the Jewish immigration to Peru.
Yeah.
Do you have any links? Do you have a link to those lectures?
I think I have one. I will email it to you.
Okay.
It's a
To
YouTube,
me and
I
to
believe.
Beverly, and then maybe we can send it to the other people in the group. So if they're interested, they can.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That would be great. You know, just to know something about other areas. You know.
Yeah. Were you born in Peru?
Yes.
Oh, that's really fascinating.
Yeah, I was the first one in our generation to be born in Peru.
Wow.
And now, and funny, now there's nobody there from the family.
Wow.
Everybody left.
How did your family get there?
How did my family get there? Well,
By
because it's a long story, but on my grandfather's side, it's a funny story. He had a brother who ran away from home when he was 14 and ended up in New Jersey. And my grandfather wasn't, well, for a number of reasons, there were family problems. So my grandfather wanted to go to meet his brother in New Jersey and left his pregnant wife and 2 children back home until he made some money to bring them. When he got to the port, the ticket that he had for a ship, the ship had already left. And he was going back to the town and met a landsman of his. And the landsman said, "Don't worry, there's another ship next week going to America. So let's go and change your ticket." So they went, they changed the tickets, and he took the ship with a friend, and they ended up in America, but it was a different America.
Oh my goodness.
And well, he had arrived with a shirt on his back and couldn't do anything else. So he just stayed there with the help of people from the Jewish community, mainly Sephardic people who had arrived before and had made already a better living. They gave him some pieces of cloth and told him, "Gay in Farkoif, go and sell." And that's how he started, and he did well.
Okay, wonderful story.
Wow, yeah, great story.
It's interesting.
Okay.
The
schmata trade.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting story.
Yes, it is.
I just looked it up. The total of Jews in Peru are 3,000, and in Brazil there's about 120,000 Jews.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Luisa.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that remember that Argentina had been singled out in the previous century as a possible place for becoming a home to the Jews. So there was probably a lot of promotion. And it may have had to do with the fact that there was so much land that would be easy to toil, in that there was so much land, all the Pampas areas and so forth. So that was probably why the initial push went to Argentina. But then during the 20th century, remember that everybody came to the US until the immigration was closed. So as it was closed here, it started going down, 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 all the way to all the other countries. And that was why they ended up in Argentina in its heyday. There were, I remember in the 60s, that there were about 400,000 Jews. And then, of course, the numbers went down for a number of reasons. The Jews left, and many of them went to Israel because of difficult times and so forth. But probably the golden years of the Jewish community were the 60s in Argentina.
Molly Pekin performed in Argentina, because when I was there, went to this book center, and they had posters of her advertising her being going to perform there.
Yeah, that was before. I know the name, but that was she was probably in the 50s there.
Maybe, yeah. I definitely wouldn't have been the 60s. Yeah.
Okay.
But the other interesting comment I think is that when I talk about the golden times of Argentina, I think that Argentina was extremely successful in terms of developing an outstanding Jewish educational system. Very, very strong, and it was by far the best of Latin America, on a par or in some ways maybe even better than the Jewish educational system to the one in the United States. And that had to do with the fact that a lot of the Jews who went to Argentina were Zionists, and they had a lot of support later from the Israeli government. So
okay, we are learning interesting stuff. So yeah.
And also, I would like to say also that the Argentinian educational system had a lot of influence in other communities in Latin America. For example, in Peru, all of the rabbis that we had and the people who came mainly from the Latin American Theological Seminary in Buenos Aires.
Right.
And for example, even when we didn't have a rabbi in our shul, we had students from the seminary or rabbis from synagogues in Argentina that came to Peru.
One of my professors was one of the directors there around. He was very strong, you're right, and they ended up providing rabbis and teachers to Brazil, to Mexico, to all of Latin America. It was really...
What was his name?
Marshall Meyer.
Marcos Ederi,
Well, Marcos Ederi wrote, translated the Sidur.
Yes, and the Torah also.
Yeah.
And he was
into Spanish?
Yes, into Spanish.
Yes.
Wow.
He was an extra. He was born in Morocco. He was from Tanger. His Spanish was outstanding, and he was the sidekick of the American Rabbi Marshall Mayer, who founded Bethel and the
seminary.
The Bethel Temple and the seminary, and also they were Professor Ederi was Rabbi Ederi and Professor, he was very, very big in the Midrashah. Yes, you're going to look for the Torah translation, and I also have it with me. And you know, I stayed in touch with him, Morty, almost until he died. And once I was looking for him in Buenos Aires, but I ran into him in Montevideo, in Uruguay. And he said to me, don't worry, Luisa, or don't worry, Leah. Next time, God will take care of our meeting next time, because it was such a coincidence that I looked for him in Buenos Aires and I found him in Montevideo.
I don't know if you can see this, if you can read this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I have it. I'll show you the Torah also.
And what was
Torah in Spanish. Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah.
can you print his name?
Yes, I'll spell it for you. His last name is Edery.
We had a brilliant rabbi in Houston, Rabbi Jata from Argentina, and also in a very big synagogue in New York, one of the biggest, they have a rabbi from Argentina and a cantor from Argentina. So they have Marshall Mayer turned them all on.
Yeah, they would have been their students, because Marshall Mayer and after Marshall Mayer left Argentina, this professor was the one who really sort of became the person in charge. Or see, the Torah came out not too long ago, 5 tomes.
Was it Yosef Idero or Benjamin?
No, Marcos.
Marcos, Mordechai.
Moshe.
Mordechai.
No, Mordechai.
Okay.
Marcos.
Yeah. And you know what? When in the morning, he lived not far from where I lived. And in the morning, when we would go to the Midrashah, the Institute of Higher Studies, with my girlfriend that we used to live in the same neighborhood,